No.
Yes. Well, hello everybody. It's your boy, and with me is my two stalwart cohorts and the man, the myth, the legend, Chicago. How you doing?
Good. How about you?
Not too bad. I'm really stuffed, as I said before. Oh. And with us
Oof.
is he's back, and he's just as spurgy as before.
Yeah.
Alkazai.
Yay.
And I
I'm
got a
back
question
from
for you. I got a question for you.
Washington, D.C.
Washington. Oh,
I'm
what do you do
scared.
in Washington?
Oh, I saw the God Emperor speak. That's what.
Oh, yeah, he sent me a load of photos. Remember that? And I couldn't see shit.
Yeah. So I went. Yeah, I went to DC. I saw God Emperor speak at the pro-life march. So that was kind of neat.
Mm-hmm. Are you pro-life or
He
you?
didn't really. Yeah, I am.
See, you're still doing that weird accent. Why are you doing that? Where have you been apart from Washington D.C. that makes you sound like that? Like, have you
Hell.
been to New Order? I mean, have you been to New York? Shit.
No.
I'm Alkazai.
I
Anyway,
come back and immediately get bullied. Why do you hate me?
yeah, well, I've got a question for you though.
I'm scared.
Why are you gay?
Wait, we're in the hangout lounge. I just.
Oh yeah, we are.
Shit, we
Well,
are. Oh,
wait, we should
fuck.
move.
And that was. What the
There you
oh
go.
dear, guys.
Much better.
That is much better. Now nobody
Okay.
can just walk in without realizing we're streaming.
That would be really funny though.
It would have been pretty
I
funny.
should have said it. That would have been funny.
So anyway, yesterday it was Independence Day.
It was. I was on a. What did you guys do to celebrate it?
I did nothing actually. I was working. And then I walked
Oh, I
through
thought you had
town.
to work.
Yeah, I did go to work.
Oh god, hold on. Fuck, you're cutting out.
I'm not cutting out.
You're
Oh.
cutting out.
I am.
Oh no.
Alkazai.
Oh no.
Mm.
Oh no. Oh no. Let me delete some tabs.
But anyway, so I was just working. Like I was working late, and then it was really quiet actually where I was. There wasn't really anything going on.
Don't you? Yeah, I
For a
was gonna say,
Friday
don't you look at
night,
the
you'd think
president?
there'd be loads of people about. No, it was really quiet. Not a lot
They
of.
were mourning the death of
Well-
your friendship with the EU.
Well, I don't.
You
know.
mean celebrating?
In London, though, it was a completely different story. There was thousands of people on both sides. Some of them were mourning and shouting "No!" You remember, like when Trump got inaugurated? and
Yeah,
everyone
I
went,
remember.
"No!"
Nah.
Then there was like thousands upon thousands of like, and there were like thousands of Brexiteers in what was it? Brexit Square they call it. I don't know.
The Virgin Remainer versus the Chad Brexiteer.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then I think it was either the BBC or some kind of, maybe it was ITV. They were interviewing some person that I don't know who they were, and it's like it's a really white crowd, isn't it? And I'm like, Jesus Christ, can you like, you just can't help yourselves bringing race.
Your
into
mom's
it.
a really white crowd.
Yo mama.
Your mom's like. Mm.
It's like what Jon Snow did. Do you remember when a couple months ago, maybe a year ago, he said, "I'd never seen so many white people in one place." I think that was like a Brexit protest. You know, the Brexiteers
It was.
one protest. Yeah, like they just can't help
Yeah.
themselves, and they call people like me a racist.
Wait a second. You're like part Irish.
Calling-
though. So
yeah,
you're
calling
black.
you
You can't be racist.
Calling you racist is actually racist.
Technically, by
Dude.
their standards, yeah.
Dude, speaking of race, we have to break some news to you guys.
Okay.
Now, this is
Oh,
really
no.
sad, really unfortunate news, but I have confirmed through my own sources that black people do in fact exist.
Wow.
Fake
How does
news.
this exist?
Guys.
Fake
to-
news.
But what about the 650s?
650s.
It's like 13.
Fake news.
Oh.
Fake news.
Chicago, you
Explain.
can
I need
deny it all
this
you want.
explained to me. How's it fake news?
Yeah.
Mum melanin kills.
So like already like a day later, because there's more talks going on. I think it's to do with trade. Spain have been trying to worm the way in, like, so how about Gibraltar, and the EU are backing
Well,
them now.
here's the thing though. Spain almost says that entire sentence, but then they sleep for 5 hours.
So like,
It's time for my siesta.
and it sent the Remainers into a frenzy because they say, "Oh, nobody saw this coming. Oh, everybody said it was going to be fine and hunky dory." It's like, well, no. First, they're going to pull any dirty trick in the book they can to get what they want in a trade deal. That's what they're going to do. Unfortunately for Spain, they'll never get Gibraltar back because one, even though Gibraltar voted Remain, I think, they don't want to be Spanish.
Yes, they did. Overwhelmingly so.
But they don't want to be Spanish either. They've overwhelmingly voted to remain, I think, several times actually, in the UK. They really don't want to be Spanish anymore. And plus, it was so long ago when
Well, it's also because there's very few Spanish people in Gibraltar. It's mostly British.
Well, they are the people who we, traded with. Oh, well, not traded. So we won. Oh, we won from the. Was it the War of Spanish Succession? Yeah. So they're the same people. They're not British. Well, they are British, but they're not. I don't know. Whatever, they're British. They have accents.
They're not Anglo.
But they're not Anglo. Yeah. They're Gibraltarian. They even have their own language, but they all speak English.
Is it like a Spanish dialect or whatever?
Kind of. It's a mix of English and Spanish. Yeah, maybe Portuguese. But yeah, they're completely separate to Spain culturally.
Imagine naming your country after a porch.
They would have another bloody Catalonia on their books if somehow Gibraltar got in. And I think even though they want to remain in the EU, I don't think they want to be in Spain. So I think they will once again say no.
I wouldn't want to be in Spain, so.
Yeah. I don't even think Spain wants to be in Spain at this point.
It's a dirty tactic that the EU are trying to employ because they're backing Spain's territorial designs, but we won it fair and square in the war 300 years ago. Nothing they can do. And besides, we're out now, ish. Just give us a trade deal. That's all we need. Besides, we've got other places we can trade with anyway.
Like America.
I mean, we don't even need to have a deal to free trade anyway. I mean, I can still send goods over there anyway.
Yeah, because you're just trading through the World Trade Organization.
Exactly,
rules.
yeah. That's what we're doing. So
honestly, you don't even need to do. Just do that. Why the fuck?
And I already noticed the USA has most favored nation status with the UK anyway.
Well, it don't feel like it, but thank you.
Yeah, I don't think most Brit bongers like the current man in
Do you know what
charge
most favored? Okay, most favored nation status literally just means that there's preferential trade deals.
What the hell was
There's
that?
preferential trade between our countries.
Alcazar, what are you doing?
I'm sorry.
What the fuck are you doing now?
His mic fell somehow. Seriously, he comes back and already.
We're already having like our quality immediately depreciate.
It was a lovely quiet day without you last week. But anyway, I think this. Go on.
Oh, sorry, you go first.
Well, I think we're going to continue seeing these underhanded tactics from the EU anyway. But I actually don't think there's going to be like this domino effect, and all of a sudden, because Brexit's happened, other countries are going to leave. I actually do think Guy Verhofstadt's little faction of imperialists will make sure that it'll be even harder for Ireland, Greece, Poland, Hungary,
Ireland doesn't
to
even
leave.
want to leave.
Yeah, I know they don't want to leave, but say they do want to leave. Because remember, the Irish people did vote against Lisbon, so
They did.
So there might be quite a strong Euro skeptic movement there. I'm not sure, but they'll make it even harder. Not that I think that those countries want to leave anyway. They don't. They want to reform it. But Guy Verhofstadt's idea of reform is to double down.
Yeah.
As I constantly said to people, these countries are so-called based, yet they're trying to reform something that will never be reformed in their own image anyway. So there's that. I don't think there'll be a domino effect. I think things will truck along status quo like in a way. You know, the EU's
might
smaller.
even get their own army.
Well, they will get their own army. We already know that. They've been not quite putting it into legislation yet, have they? But they've been creating like groundwork and blueprints for it for a long time now. And I know that we originally were going to be a part of that, I think, but we're not, thankfully. But if they do get an army, I'd be worried, especially if you're like a country that's not a part of the EU. Because say like, you know, in my video, like say for example, Guy Verhofstadt's like most extremist version of himself, because there must be people like him who think, yeah, we could be an empire and we can conquer Europe. Like, there's no telling if somebody would actually take the reins of the EU and do that. Like that could happen. Anything could happen from here. It's not a clear cut as the second biggest contributor to the European Union leaves and it just collapses. Well, we don't know if it's going to collapse or not. I mean, the United, our empire didn't collapse when America seceded. It actually got bigger. So sometimes another part of an empire
So keep
leaving.
in mind,
could
you guys
be-
actually learned from your mistakes instead of what Guy Verhofstadt's doing and saying,
Well,
"Oh, we can make it
he
harder."
might consider making it impossible for people to leave to be learning from his mistakes, and in many ways, you can argue that he is. Which would mean that in order to secede, you'd have to have a civil war or something. You'd have to fight other countries, which would, ironically, bring about World War III, or at least a general European war, which the whole point of the EU apparently is meant to avoid.
Yes.
Even though
Well, that's more
Yugoslavia happened on the
NATO's
EU's
doing
watch.
anyway. But
True,
the EU's
yeah.
literally just taking credit for what NATO did
I mean,
for
Yugoslavia
almost 50 years.
Yeah, Yugoslavia still descended into butchery and genocide and ethnic cleansing. On
And
the
for some
EU's
reason, it
watch,
still got a
so-
Nobel Peace Prize.
Who did?
The EU.
Well, the EU didn't. Somebody who was part of the EU didn't
Well, I
they?
mean, we also gave Barack Obama the Nobel Prize.
And he
So
was only president.
What did he even
that
do?
was when he was president for like 3 seconds.
I know. I still don't know what Obama did to win the Nobel Peace Prize.
Yes.
Just yes.
Yes.
he was black. That's
yeah.
basically all he did.
Yeah, that's
He
true.
was
That's really what it
black.
was. Yeah. And then next thing you know, second term, bombing Libya, bombing all these other countries, and it's like, well,
Oh, his
I did
first
that one.
term, he was doing a whole bunch of technically illegal drone strikes.
oh yeah, he was. And wasn't when he got Osama bin Laden, wasn't that technically illegal or something like that?
Yeah, he didn't ask the Pakistanis for permission.
Yeah.
But honestly, who fucking cares?
I know.
That what I could let slide, because fuck Pakistan.
Yeah, they were harboring him, and you were trying to find him for years and years and years, and now you finally got him, and he was just right underneath your nose the entire time in this nice little mansion or compound, whatever it was.
Yeah. Crowd actually had a decent video on the Pakistan-India
Oh
conflict.
god, I'm not even.
Look, I know
That
you don't
video
like it.
blackpilled me on the existence of Pakistan.
Mate, try being somebody who
yeah.
knows about kind of what the history is. Oh, Saffron's in the chat. How you doing, my apparently more white-pilled friend? You've been really positive on Twitter recently. Thurg's in the chat, and Reason Vision is as well.
Ooh,
Saffron, give us a red pill take in the chat while you're at it.
Well, to be fair,
black
Chicago-
people don't exist.
God damn it, Chicago! Don't get us demonetized.
I was already blackpilled on the Pakistani issue before Crowd, but
They're
Crowd
just
just
they,
made it
they,
worse.
they fund quite a bit of Islamic terror anyway. They're not good allies.
Yeah.
And
Of course, they're not good allies.
no, they're not. And that who else from Saudi Arabia does the same thing? That they actually were involved in 9/11. Yeah, for some reason America didn't invade Saudi Arabia, which always perplexed me. Apart from the oil, I mean, I get that, but it's just stupid. So, impeachment. It's
I don't care
winding
about
down. It's
It's done.
It's done. The Democrats failed. So why did they fail then? How did they fail? How did they
Because
Because
they
they
got-
couldn't find any actual crimes
Mm-hmm.
that the Republican Party would have said are crimes. I mean, in my opinion, every president after Kennedy should be impeached for overreach, but
Yeah.
actually every president after Calvin Coolidge should be impeached for executive overreach, honestly.
FDR definitely.
Hoover, definitely.
Hoover.
Hoover did a lot more than FDR did.
Really?
Yeah, he actually legitimately forced major companies to just not fire people. He made it
Wow.
illegal for them to fire people.
Even though that could have destroyed
Nice.
their company if they didn't.
He almost made Ford no longer exist.
Wow.
And General Motors.
I'm glad he got voted out of office.
Yeah, he was basically FDR, but somehow even more inept
Was he a
economically.
Republican as well?
Yes.
Oof. But
Being
like,
Republican does not mean being major well, being pro-business or even being red-pilled in economics.
Yeah, just like was Roosevelt? I don't think Roosevelt was particularly red pilled or even blue pilled. Really, he was kind of just there.
Teddy Roosevelt?
Not Teddy.
He
Not Roosevelt.
Franklin.
I meant bloody Eisenhower. I was thinking of Eisenhower.
Oh, Eisenhower?
Yeah.
Yeah, he actually made the Republican Party very similar to the Democrats.
And
Like, he took his foreign policy from the Democrats.
domestically, he was kind of centrist. I don't know if I would say he.
Did
Was
you know that the
particularly radical.
Republican Party before Eisenhower was actually against the United Nations and NATO?
Really interesting?
Yeah, it wanted to go back to being isolationist. That was the Roberts Taft Republicans.
Oh, you couldn't go isolationist after that, especially with the USSR. I don't think that was ever going to happen
Oh, yeah.
because it was. I don't believe in historical inevitabilities, but
But
at some point, America had to step on the world stage and not be isolationist because if you didn't, well, there would have been World War III would have happened again anyway.
Well, I mean, even when we were isolationists, we were still on the world stage constantly mediating peace treaties. And also using our fleets to go and ensure that world trade wasn't being fucked with.
that's the thing. The Treaty of Portsmouth, which ended the Russo-Japanese War, was signed in New Hampshire.
And
Well, I was thinking
Portsmouth,
post-World
New
War One.
Hampshire.
I was thinking post World War One.
Post World War
Wow.
One, we actually were heavily involved in Latin America. We occupied Haiti for 30 years.
That's more
To
Caribbean,
be fair,
really.
when were we not heavily involved in Latin America?
Most of the 19th century.
Mexican-American War. There was a one guy in Nicaragua.
Between the Mexican-American
North
War
America.
and the Spanish-American War, we did nothing with Latin America. We basically just did the Monroe Doctrine, and that's it.
I meant more like you didn't join the League of Nations, even though it was Wilson's idea and things like that. And I think if had you joined, it would have been harder for the Germans to.
So we
invade
mediated
the
peace
rest of
between
Europe.
Paraguay, Argentina, Brazil after Paraguay decided to go ham and failed.
Yeah,
That's more out of the Monroe Doctrine than anything else, though.
Mm.
It was just because we didn't want the Europeans to be meddling.
even though Britain and France had territory in South America at the time, so it would be legitimate for us to meddle anyway. Guyana and French Guyana, even the Dutch could with Suriname. So, which by the way, I forgot existed recently, didn't I?
Oh, Ray would be pissed at you for that.
Yeah, I said Suriname's not in South America,
Suriname,
no
also
way.
known as East Asia, for any of those fucking Pan-Asians that are still around.
East Asia. It's in the West, but don't worry, it's East Asia.
Yeah, we just call it Far West Asia.
Far West Asia. To be fair, that's what the Europeans thought they were going to. when they
Yeah,
set
that's
off.
why it's called the West Indies. They thought it was India.
I mean, they were right. If they went west enough, they could have got there. But they didn't realise there was an entire continent in the way that they'd have to sail down around.
Yeah, and also the only passage would be, well, through frozen ice caps.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
And we
look at
still
what
can't
happened
get
to
through it.
Franklin's expedition when they tried.
Yeah, we still can't get through there even now.
No, we actually can.
Oh, we can.
The U.S. Coast Guard and the Canadian Navy actually do send icebreakers there every now and then to let ships through.
Also,
Only during the summer, though, when the ice is thin.
I have
Obviously,
something to say about the fucking coronavirus thing.
Oh yeah,
That
go
was
on.
really pissing me off.
Corona.
I was watching coverage, and then they mentioned how the Dow Jones went down, and I was like, I really don't think this is what we should be talking about when it concerns to a global pandemic.
Well, it does
Is whether
cause
the
economic.
Dow-
Well, actually, if you think about it, it could end up causing a bit of a boom because after the Black Plague, when loads of people got killed, wages went up. The economy
Yeah.
boomed.
So basically, we need to kill the Chinese and our wages will go up.
Yes.
Sure.
I
but
can
I
get
just-
behind this.
I mean, I just find it a little weird that, like, oh, this is something important. I don't give a shit about the Dow Jones. I really don't.
I don't think
Well, I
it's
mean,
going to be that
The
bad.
Dow Jones fluctuating actually can affect your retirement if you have a 401k.
Yeah, that's true, but, like,
So that affects quite a few people, actually, if the Dow
What annoys
Jones
me most
is
about, like,
fluctuating.
is that when people use the stock market to measure the health of an economy, which is really not. I don't
It
think.
somewhat can.
Yeah, but I don't think
Like,
it's
if
good.
the stock market has a massive bubble, then that means that your economy is unhealthy.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Well,
that
think
means
of it,
that there's
3,000 different
overinvesting.
companies. There's 3,000 different companies on the New York Stock Exchange in many different industries. I don't think it's really.
So do you
The
guys?
Chicago Board of Trade isn't that much smaller
So
too.
do you guys think it's actually going to become a
Wait,
worldwide
Chicago has a stock
pandemic?
market?
We actually have two stock exchanges.
I want to trade on it.
We have the Chicago Board of Trade and the Chicago Mercantile Exchange.
Okay.
The CME Group actually owns some European stock
Let's get back
exchanges
onto
too.
the topic of the virus itself.
Oh
So,
yeah.
I don't actually think it's going to be that bad. I think I think it's like already like a worldwide emergency or something. Like the UN was saying, "Oh, this is an emergency. This is an emergency."
It wasn't the UN, it was the World Health
Oh,
Organization.
World Health
but
Organization,
yes.
yeah. But aren't they all affiliated in some way anyway? I don't know.
Yeah, they are. It is a closely affiliated association with.
What? How many people have actually died? A couple hundred, and they're all in China.
We've actually had one death in the US, I think.
One death in the US. Were they old by any chance?
No,
Probably.
there has been a death in the U.S.
Oh, I thought that there was one person who's in like very critical condition now.
Yeah, there's a guy in the ICU, but that's because he has coronavirus and doesn't want it to. They don't. The CDC doesn't want it to spread to other people, not because like he's in mortal danger.
Oh, so
Isn't there also that little girl who has it who's like not doing very well?
well, she's
Eh,
young, and
probably.
like the viruses always seem to kill off the old and the very young. Never like people like us, Chad, 20 somethings.
20 something. I not 20 something.
Oh yeah, you're a kid. Yeah.
You're screwed then.
Shit.
But us
Still a
Chad
kid.
and 20 somethings are gonna be alright.
No.
Well, the virus has to somehow penetrate his being, which I find it hard to believe it can. So.
Well, to be fair,
Oh, great. Now we're going to see
We did
lewd
recently
comments
see
of the coronavirus penetrating out his eye. By the way, chat, please make those and send it to my Twitter account.
no.
At Mises Chicago.
Oh, look,
I worry about you too.
I'm fine. I'll
You
be
see,
fine.
I want to do it just as a joke.
There's like no. There was actually
I will send it to AA and see what his
Ugh,
reaction
ugh.
is.
Clint Eastwood
gonna
being
send to AA?
disgusted.jpg.
Random pictures of the coronavirus penetrating some
It's
dude.
Corona Chan penetrating Al.
Corona chat.
Dude, I don't want to. No. There's a. I'm trying
Let
to
me
think.
infect you, Alkazai Chan.
Ew. Good God. There was a thing. Fuck. We saw the first person-to-person contact recently, though.
Ew.
In Chicago, the wife gave it to her husband.
God
Ooh.
damn
Back
it.
from
Ooh,
Wuhan.
ooh.
Yeah, and that guy, he said he wasn't out in public that much, but I find that hard to believe.
Yeah,
So, good luck, Chicago. I hope you don't die. Ooh, let me impale you, Chicago.
Ew,
Chan.
woo.
Woo.
But I don't think it's going to be that much of a problem. Like they thought that bird flu was going to be that bad. They thought that.
Well, to be fair, this case has already exceeded what SARS was at its peak.
Yeah, but SARS wasn't even that big.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
SARS was enough to don't be a health concern. So
Well, when it
you know,
starts
I'm not
reaching,
going to discount. I'm not going to discount the threat of the coronavirus, but I'm also not going to say that it's a world-ending or a mega plague brought by God because we're all gay.
well, some people are though.
Well, to be fair, I don't trust the Chinese numbers of
They need to stop
cases,
eating.
because
I just don't trust the Chinese.
They need
10,000 right now. It's probably like 50,000. Let's be real here.
Yeah.
They need to stop eating bats, man. That's what they need to do. And
They need to,
wet
they
meat.
just need to stop eating everything they come into contact with.
It's just like I've seen the videos. Like there's they had this market stall and there's like rats all over it, and I'm like, no wonder you've got the coronavirus. No wonder when you continue to have such lax health and safety rules. Like my nan, I was talking to her recently, and she said one of my mates went to India, and India was cleaner than China because she'd gone to China as well. And apparently India was far cleaner despite its reputation than China. And then I saw that video, and I'm like, oh god. It's
Well,
probably
India has
true.
a worse reputation because they shit in the streets.
True.
At least the Chinese don't.
But it seems like the Indians at least clean it up, The Chinese.
Yeah,
wouldn't.
the Indians at least, try and be sanitary somewhat about it.
Well,
Why
also
the
they
fuck do
don't.
shit in the
If you think
streets,
about it,
though?
they also because they don't eat beef and stuff like that. They're very particular with their diet. Maybe that's another reason why the coronavirus wouldn't happen there.
Well, the thing is, though, they eat pork, and pork
Mm.
is much more easily diseased than beef.
Oh
True.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's why that was banned in Muslim and Jewish law.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And technically
and
Christian.
technically Christian
Yeah.
law, but that's the Old Testament. So
Yeah,
Thou shalt not eat the squealy
you don't have
things.
to worry about that, Chicago.
Thou shalt not eat the squealy boys.
I like barbecue ribs too much for me to follow that.
You know what?
Yeah.
Frankly.
There was a story that came out
Oh,
about
you
the
should try
corona.
some pork steaks.
Ooh, have you
There-
ever tried country fried steak?
No, I still need to though.
There was
I'll
a
find something.
there was a story that came out though about the
Nice.
coronavirus. I don't know if you heard. Apparently, it has like they like sequenced the genome, and apparently it had some kind of HIV like quality to it. I don't know what it was. I should have looked into it.
Nice.
I don't know if-
Nice.
Okay, I don't know if it was how it spreads, if it's how it affects the immune system or anything like that. I don't know, but apparently they share qualities. But to me, it just makes sense. They're both viruses, so maybe they would share something evolutionarily similar.
Yes.
But some people, I think they got a bit too worked up on the the tin foil and assumed that it was.
Dude,
They may be
wait, you're
joking,
telling-
but some people were wondering, is this a bioweapon invented by the Chinese? and I just thought, I don't think the
Dude.
Chinese have the know-how. They steal rather than create their own technology.
Dude, wait, are you telling me coronavirus is an STD? Bruh.
Well, it's not an STD. It's
I'm-
an FTD, isn't it? It's a food transmitted disease.
I'm joking.
But apparently it shares stuff with HIV. But I just that's probably just an evolutionary
Oh
thing.
shit,
I don't know.
coronavirus can transport through sex, bro. This is not good.
I saw JF was posting about it, but he just
Well, at least I'm safe from that.
anyway. Saffron says that 80% of Pakistan is inbred. She asked. I did ask for it. Yeah, I did ask for that. Makuta Pterodax. Brexit is a beautiful early birthday present. Happy birthday, Makuta. Celtic Rune Singer being gay. The Democrats want to impeach Trump for no crimes. Corona Chun.
Corona-chan.
Corona Chun. Thurg is having shrimp tonight for supper. Take that, dietary laws. Oof. If you're Jewish, don't get offended by Thurg. Because shellfish is illegal, obviously, in the Old Testament.
I'm not Jewish and I'm offended.
Not. So do you think? Oh yeah, there was apparently 2 cases in Britain, but according to somebody on Twitter that I know, Mecca Chunda Thunky, he said that they didn't have coronavirus because he knows people who work in the hospital where it happened, and apparently they don't have coronavirus; they have something else. So it's not in the UK yet, if he is to be believed. Which I thought, like, even then it's just 2 people and they've quarantined them. It's unlikely that it's going to spread any further than Newcastle anyway, which is where it was. So
They're quarantining shit tons of people at a military base in California now for 2 weeks.
Oof.
Really?
Have they been to
Because
China?
they all came from Wuhan. They were like charity volunteers or some shit.
Cherry. You know what's the funniest coincidence about all this, which is kind of frightening? There's a medical research facility 8 miles away from Wuhan, right? And the company that owns it, they I don't know what their name is, but I know what their logo is, and it's a green and white umbrella. Now,
Oh, yeah, I
what corporation has a red and white umbrella logo, guys? Umbrella Corporation from Raccoon City, and funnily enough, Wuhan. You know what that translates into?
Yeah.
What?
Raccoon. Raccoon. Oh my god, Raccoon City medical facility 8 miles away. Coincidence? I think not.
What is raccoon? What is this game you're talking about?
Resident Evil. Raccoon City is the city where the zombie outbreak travels to from the initial first game, where it's set in the mansion. So Raccoon City is just like the most famous location in like the first 3 games. Well, the next 2, because it's in the 2 games that are set in Raccoon City from the original trilogy, are number 2 and number 3. But it's Umbrella Corporation, obviously, that are the big bad, as well as the zombies. So who knows? Maybe zombies will finally be a thing. So we have to start stocking up supplies and getting blunt objects and weapons, because holy shit, guys, it's the T virus.
Fuck.
Oh, in that case, it's the C virus, coronavirus. So I thought that was a funny coincidence.
Huh, yeah.
So, like, I was Washington, D.C., Alkazai. What did you get up to?
I went up the Washington Monument.
You went all the way up.
I went all the way up.
I didn't know you could do
I
that.
s- yeah.
You
I
can
saw
at certain times.
Mm-hmm.
I saw the God Emperor.
You saw
That
the
was
God
fun.
Emperor. I couldn't see him because your photography skills are lacking.
Well, to be fair, I was in a crowd, so
You were in the crowd, but you're like one of the tallest people there.
I really wasn't. There was a guy in front of me who was like at least 7 foot.
Oof. You were like
Oh,
the
no.
Virgin 6-footer versus the Chad 7-footer.
Fuck. I met my match.
Why?
Chad,
He's like a foot
7-footer,
taller.
has
He's not
to
your
duck
match.
at every door known to man.
Yeah, Alcazar just has to duck below like what 1 meter. I don't know.
Yeah. There was I got flicked off and told fuck Trump, even though none of us were wearing Trump gear.
Fuck Blumph.
Um Yeah, nothing really much. I ran into the guy that converted me in St. Louis.
He
when I was
converted you.
confirmed as-
Ooh,
confirmed me as a
Oh,
Catholic.
confirmed you, right? Wait, you're a Catholic?
Yeah.
Since when?
He was.
Oh, he was.
Yeah, I was.
He was.
I thought I made that clear.
Good. You're no longer a papist. Excellent.
Yeah, we talked about this in the
I
stream
forgot.
before.
I forgot.
Well,
So, what makes you pro-life then?
because I am anti-baby murder.
No
Simple
other
as
reason.
that.
No other
Simple
reason.
as
No complex.
baby
reasonings.
murder.
Bite, baby murder, love me, missus.
Baby murder. Love me, missus. Love babies. Simple as.
Give up the ones you don't want for adoption.
Yeah, love adoption. Baby murderers. Love babies.
That's not a
Simple
northern
as.
accent. Oh, Scott Joycross is asking the perennial question: does Keith have a job yet? No, he does not. He is still currently
Well,
unemployed.
Scotch
as
is on here.
Scotch is in the
Dude.
chat.
Dude.
Chad.
Fucking join us, dude.
I've not heard much from him recently, though. There's not been any big developments. Keith has been very quiet, and my spies, my little birds, have not been showing me anything interesting. Maybe he's blocked them all, because he is a guy who likes to block.
Yeah.
I don't think he's blocked me yet.
No, he blocked me the first chance he got. Please unblock me, Keith. Please, I want a meme. Make me meme.
Please,
you
Keith,
more.
we're trying to set you up with an Indeed account.
Yeah, Keith, we're gonna give you a LinkedIn account, dude. We're gonna give
We
you
can
a
even
job.
help you out with writing up your resume.
Yeah, dude. I hate English, so I'll write your paper.
He'll write it in shitty Gaelic from Google Translate.
Yeah, I'll write it in Gaelic for you too.
We put the gay in Gaelic.
Scotch, join the stream. Come on, dude.
No, he doesn't. He can do so next week or the week after or whenever. We're all right for now as it is. No offense, Scotch.
Are you not entertained, Alkazai?
I know. Are you not
No, I
entertained?
just like Scotch.
We all love Scotch,
Yeah.
We also like Scotch Oikos too.
but we're streaming now. Apparently, heat and alcohol kills the coronavirus. Says the Finnish.
So we can
safe.
kill the coronavirus with drinking
Corona.
Corona. Nice.
Well, I
No, it
assume he
has
means
to
like
be-
ethanol. So
It has to be at least 10 degrees warmer than room temperature.
well, that's simple then. We get a
What?
flamethrower.
Remember, just drink Modelo until the coronavirus is no longer a thing.
I would just
Dab.
I will drink bloody whatever beer I've got and have a flamethrower, just in case.
That's a Chad move.
It's a very Chad move. It's a Warhammer 40k move, if you know what I mean.
Well, here in the Imperium of Man, we saw some real nice grade Promethium. That's a rock
What
burning
if they
heretic
like their
right there.
Prometheum? Well
God
done.
damn it, Papa, you got the coronavirus.
But Dad, what if they like their Prometheum? Well done. We asked them kindly but firmly to leave.
But Dad, why? What would happen if the heretics don't become set on fire by the Prometheus? Well, Bobby, then they're just fucking gay.
Prometheus, what the fuck are you even
exterminatus.
talking about?
I'm just doing a whole bunch of weird Warhammer references.
Oh, Warhammer. Oh, cool.
But it's King of the Hill.
Yeah,
Well,
Warhammer if it's King of the Hill.
Well, we
You know,
go
there's
exterminators.
actually an entire short story of that 4chan just fucking wrote for no reason.
What?
They also did one with Warhammer 40k being the setting for Blackadder.
That's not something I
Oh.
can see. I don't know.
Oh God! Since we have somebody new watching the stream, Scotch, we have to inform you of some grave news.
What?
we
Canada,
regret
Stop.
Canada is
to
gay?
inform you.
Stop.
Okay, I need this explained to me. What's going on? Why are you telling him to stop?
Because
Black
he's
people
done
are
this
real.
joke like 30 times. This is just cringe.
Go on, tell me this
Checker
joke,
cringe.
Alkazai. Go
It's
on.
fucking cringe.
Is it cringe?
What?
Go on.
Yes.
I'll be the
Cringe.
judge of that.
Black people are real, Scotch. I regret to inform you.
Ugh. Oh, really? That's cringe.
That's the point.
You are so cringy.
I know.
So, anything else,
Cringe
guys, that's
humor.
been going on that you want to talk about?
Oh, the successor to Vine came out, but
What, TikTok?
no, not TikTok. No,
TikTok basically is the successor to Vine.
No, it's a successor to Musically, but it's slightly better. No,
So
because
what's-
like no,
The
Vine
fuck is
only lets-
Musically?
You don't remember Musically?
It's the one where
No.
you can type anything in and it'll turn it into a song, basically.
Yeah.
Oh.
There was no, it's a successor to Vine because it does like 6-second video loops, so it's the same format.
Why did they get rid of Vine? It was literally just bought
I think
by,
it
like...
I think it was unprofitable,
Really?
or so they claimed. Or
Well,
so
they
they
had
claimed.
massive people on there who were, like, making loads of money. You're like... Well, all the people that were
That doesn't
stinking
mean
up
that the
YouTube,
company is
so-
making money,
Yeah,
though.
true,
Yeah.
But yeah, they like people like Lele Pons. He's just an absolute psycho in real life.
Yeah.
Like, no, what she
So
used to
the-
do. Did you watch the Nerd City video on her?
No.
Basically, she's so obsessed with success and gets so like into the rivalry and stuff that she will, if you're not looking and you're next to her and you're her friend, and you're considered competition, she will delete your videos and your Instagram posts so she can one up you in the competition.
Oh my.
Yeah,
Nigga?
she did that. Yeah, and like she did it in front of some people who weren't looking.
What did she delete your videos on? Like the
Well, not
Vine
my
or whatever?
videos. Just like anything. If it's usually if it's doing really well in views. So like if you just uploaded it, she'll get rid of it.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
That's-
apparently Harry Ann carried that bloody joke that all night says British night. Is this what you were on
yeah.
about last? About me needing to watch the stream to understand the memes that were
Yes.
going on. Is this really
yeah.
the memes that you were creating last night? This is
Oh,
really
yeah.
Well, it was
shameful.
basically Altazai. Harrian and I were just trying to like hang out and shoot the shit.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. That's what we did immediately after you left. We dropped the joke.
Fuck you, Altazai.
Fuck you.
Fuck
Yeah.
you.
we actually had some pretty good conversations.
We fuck you in the mouth.
We fuck you in the mouth, dude. Are
We
you like
fuck
a
you in the
Canadian New
ass.
Yorker?
No.
You sound like a mixture
Oh,
between a
you've
Canadian and New
you've
Yorker.
never seen the fuck that bitch, this is Russia stand-up routine?
Oh my god, I
Stop
hate Burt
bloody-
Kreischer. His mafia thing was funny though.
That's not how the mafia works,
Stole a
man.
boat.
He stole a boat.
What other memes were there? Enlighten me on these memes that you created with Harry Ann.
I gotta think.
Did you at the very least say he fucks rocks? Come on, you must have made
No.
some rock. Oh, come on, you didn't make a rock fuck joke. Come on, he's a geologist.
No.
How could you not? You've got at least
I
have
do-
No,
one.
I
just
did
to-
make fun of her for being a geologist.
Right,
um,
right. We'll do it. We'll do it when he gets on. When he stops cock
Yeah, yeah.
teasing me. All right.
Yeah, yeah. But when he told me he was a geologist, I was like, "Hey, what did you do? What was your degree in university?" Oh, I was a rock study major.
Rock studies.
rock
Oh, I
study.
fucking study rocks, mate.
I study rocks, mate.
I study rocks, mate. You know,
He doesn't actually sound like that, but he sounds like me. But
I know. I
I studied
care.
rocks at university.
studied rocks at university.
I like rocks.
He doesn't
how
sound like
dare you.
grade A under A, Al.
I don't care. I can't do British accents.
How dare you
Okay.
insult rocks? Rocks are fascinating and interesting. You can learn a lot digging through the sediment.
Alright, Kermit the Frog.
You know, these rocks are very interesting.
Did you know
Especially when
about
I-
the rocks? You gotta clean
Shut
your
up, mate.
room and put a rock in it.
Shut up, piggy.
You gotta
Shut up,
clean your
piggy.
room and shove a rock in your
Clean
ass.
your room, piggy.
To know the true meaning of happiness.
You know the true meaning of happiness? You gotta have a pet rock.
And shove it up your ass.
I wouldn't have gone that far.
Oh, I thought you were still making fun of Harry.
We are, but I wouldn't have gone that far. But
Oh,
depends
okay.
what. Okay, it depends what kind of rock. If it's like a pebble with a point, maybe. You know
No,
those pebbles.
like a well-rounded rock.
A well-rounded pebble that you can like skirt across water and stuff like that.
Yeah.
imagine that. That's what geologists do for like initiations at uni. All right, go stand in the water there, and we'll hit you in the face.
The geology fraternity, you have to like shove a rock up your ass while like fucking.
No, like
golfing
you
down
go
the
into the
ski.
water, right? So you go to the beach, then they put you like neck deep in the water, and then they try and hit your head with a pebble. What's that? Mancunian is cringe. Is that meant to be Mancunian, or is it like a strange like thing? Mancunian. Oh, Clossington's in the chat.
Oh,
Nice.
it's Washington.
Hey,
Santa
Chas.
Claus.
So do you want to enlighten people on the weird LARPing thing we're doing?
What?
You know, the
Keep
LARP,
LARPing.
Discordia, whatever it's called.
Oh, no,
Oh, yeah.
we're doing. We'll leave that for another time.
For another
Yeah.
time. Oh, but now I've got people excited. Like, what is Discordia, and how is it not the person who runs all
Wait,
the Discord
really?
servers? Well, I don't know if they're if they're interested or not.
Eh. If they want to join, ask any questions, well,
Yeah,
my Twitter DMs are open.
Well,
So
all
are
I'm saying
mine.
is we're LARPing, and it's pretty gay.
yeah. So are mine. All
Yeah,
of
it
our
is
Twitter
pretty
DMs are
gay.
open. But I recommend you DM Chicago because it's his
Yeah.
server.
No, it's actually not even my server.
Whose is it?
It's Chroniclers.
Da Chronicler.
Okay, I'm
Whoops.
trying to think. Oh, also that stream with Harry on last night. I love how it was supposed to have all those people, but it was just me and him.
Yeah, I was working. By the time I got home, it was over.
Yeah.
How long did it last? Like 2 hours?
We went till 5 my time. So when Brexit was officially, then we honked the horn. We crashed some trucks in Euro Truck Simulator. And
Oh, yeah, he was playing that,
We did
wasn't
horns
he?
with our mouths and said, "Oh, Brexit's here."
It seems like
Yeah.
a boring game. You just sit around and drive all
Well,
day.
you simulate driving a truck. That's
Well, I
sort
was
of
saying,
what
that's
the
what,
game
that's what I was
is.
saying to him. I said, "This is a pretty boring game." He's like, "Yeah, I know." It's like,
Well, he is a
fucking really
geologist. He sits around.
fair enough.
looking at
Yeah,
rocks
he is
all
a
day.
geologist, so
Yeah.
he has some naturally weird, boring interests.
So who else
It's
was
like, God,
there?
dude. Oh, look at this. Look at the crystallite structure. This quartz, bro. It's
It's so
cool.
smooth, but did you know? If you
Whoa.
look in the, it's so smooth, this rock. But did you know when you look under the microscope, it's actually rough as fuck.
Wow, cool. Thanks. I fucking asked.
Oh god, we could make rock jokes all day if we wanted to. So so now really now that Brexit's over, pretty much, I think British politics is going to get back to like, okay, let's get into the real issues
Be
that we've
boring.
been ignoring.
It's gonna get boring.
No, it's not going to get. I don't think it's going to get boring. I think it's going to get more interesting because
Hopefully, Jacob Rees-Mogg lays down on the parliamentary benches more.
he always
Hopefully,
does that.
fucking mod pills people.
He
Down.
always does that though. He always like slouches because he's so tall. Apparently, that he
Now-
wants... yeah, he is. He's massive.
In defiance of your socialism, I will now lounge at the parliamentary benches.
Well, this is why he does it. He said it. The reason why he does that is because he's like over 6'3" or something. So like, if he sits up properly, no, you can't see the other people behind him, so he slouches.
Oh, I
Yeah.
thought he was just a Chad.
No,
Well, he is a Chad, but that's not the principal reason.
Oh yeah, my Twitter banner is just him lounging because I think it's so fucking hilarious. I changed it from a turtle because I realized I still had it as one. I was like, oh, I should probably change this. Then I did.
oh wait,
So now,
there's been
Gee.
even more news from Wuhan that I've just found from Business
Ooh.
Insider. Although it's somebody, it's from Jim. Jim posted this.
oh, Bedecker.
Yeah. Apparently, there's been a highly pathogenic strain of H5N1 bird flu been reported in Hunan, not Wuhan. So I can't read. But and he said in his tweet, what god did the Chinese piss off exactly?
All of them.
All of them. Bird
Yeah,
flu.
dude, holy
We were
shit.
just talking
Not
about
only
bird
have they
flu.
lost the mandate of heaven, the mandate of heaven straight up left China, went
Yeah.
somewhere else.
Well, it went to Trump, didn't it?
Yes.
The mandate of heaven. Ah, yes, Donald Trump is now the new
The
emperor of
God Emperor.
China.
Cool. That'll be fucking hilarious. I'll vote for that.
So that means China's basically gonna have like several epidemics at once in their own country. One in Hunan, one in
Chad.
Wuhan. What next? Is it going to be SARS all over again? Is it going to be... Well, bubonic plague is in China. I know that. Yeah, it is. The bubonic plague actually came back in China.
They're
and
gonna
it
have a
spread to other
leprosy
areas.
outbreak.
I don't know about leprosy. I think I
You
don't
know,
think
actually,
that's...
leprosy is still a problem in some parts of China.
I don't think leprosy can be caught, right? Like it doesn't
Yes,
spread.
it can.
It can.
Oh,
It
That's why
absolutely
leper
can.
colonies are a thing.
oh right.
Like, you
I
need
thought
to
it was,
isolate them.
I thought it was something else. Maybe I'm thinking
No,
of something else. I don't know.
it's a contagious bacteria.
Mm-hmm. What is it? Makes your limbs fall off, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So apparently it's a very highly pathogenic strain, so that means it'll spread very quickly from person to person. You know what's going to happen,
What,
right?
this
It's
bird flu strain?
yeah. So what's going to happen is that's going to happen. They're going to evacuate Hunan, or they're going to quarantine it, so people are going to suffer and riot and die and stuff like that, like they've been doing in Wuhan. Then another thing's going to pop up. Don't know what it's going to be. But then they're going to do that again, and then China's going to collapse, and then communism will
Hopefully,
end.
yeah. Hopefully, if one good thing comes out of this virus, it's that the Communist Party collapses.
Well, what would
Hell
be
yeah.
interesting is, do they change their cultural practices? Did the Chinese government decide, right now we're not going to eat everything that bloody stands and moves?
No.
Because I understand why they do it. There was an evolutionary pressure for them. Because most of China is not particularly, habitable. It's or like
Yeah.
conducive to agriculture and stuff like that. It's only really the eastern side of China, you know, on the coast.
No, yeah.
And as
yeah,
you go
most
further
of
inland,
China, no, most of China is arable
well, I mean,
because of all the rivers.
true, but
Yeah, but
only
here's the
certain
thing.
parts
Most
of
of
it,
China's
yeah.
no longer arable because all the rivers are now fucking polluted.
But, and it's
Beyond
not just
belief.
that. I mean, beyond that is steppes and stuff, and that's not. I mean, you could grow a crop on a steppe, but is the soil quality worth it? And things like that. And then you've also got a big, massive desert around there as well. They've got the Gobi, and they've got other things as well. I mean, mountains and stuff like that. You know, it's actually not got many places for people to grow food and stuff. Really, that's why they're all crammed into the corner of it, as opposed to spreading outwards. Even though they've got all these rivers. But yeah, they polluted it so
Also-
badly the dolphins died. So
I think also coronavirus is portraying one political message, and that is free Tibet. All right.
free to
I
pet.
saw. Yeah, dude.
Free
Look,
Hong
I'll
Kong.
send you a map. Coronavirus is telling all of us free Tibet, right?
Free to pet.
There is
Why
only
does-
one case of coronavirus in Tibet right now,
Mm-hmm.
right?
This
There's
Dalai
only one
Lama and
case.
his magical powers saving them.
No, coronavirus is a Tibetan plant. That's what it is.
It's a Tibetan plant. They magically brought it up from the ether.
Yeah.
We flew. So apparently Bill Whitaker says R0 of 4.08 plus CFR of I don't speak math equals 500 million deaths, but I don't think 500 million people have died yet, so apparently 90% of people are immune to leprosy. Interesting. Oh yeah, the Chinese ghost cities, yeah. There's gonna be more of them if this coronavirus is as bad as people say it is.
Then all of a sudden, no, there's a fucking Ebola outbreak in Beijing now.
Well, Ebola's currently still going strong in Africa.
There's an outbreak in the Congo, I think.
Yeah, that's what Sticks Exenhammer's been talking about, and they can't get people saved because the rebels keep shooting up the Red Cross or whoever it is that's trying to bring in
Oh yeah, they
medical
keep shooting
supplies.
doctors.
Yeah, like, can you, like, not shoot the doctors? You might need them because you need strong, healthy men to fight, and boys, because you know what they're like around there.
Yeah.
Mind you, I kind of... AA's last good video about Liberia was interesting.
Yeah.
It was interesting, yeah.
That's an example of what... Is it African American colonialism? Essentially.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It didn't end well, did it?
Remember, technically the colony never was the United States, it was actually Maryland.
It was Maryland's.
Yeah, Maryland had a colony.
Colonial.
I just find it interesting that it started off vaguely civilized, but then it quickly degenerated in the 20th century to general butt naked. So you go from the guy who founded it
it
to him.
started from vaguely civilized to when it gained independence, it then immediately just became the shittiest version of an aristocracy for
It felt like
landowners.
the African American people were just, the landed elites were just lapping as like
Who knew
European
that African
aristocrats.
Americans are some of the most racist people in the entire African
Who
continent?
knew? Who knew? They thought they were the Ubermensch, which is what they literally thought. Like,
Yeah.
it took them 150 years to get somebody who was not of African American descent as like some kind of leader.
Mm-hmm.
So
Or, well, we call them Americo-Liberians.
yeah,
Liberians.
and then there was like this whole thing where they, what was I going to say?
I still love how Firestone Tires is basically
Yeah,
the only non-government employer in the whole
It's
country.
a monopoly. It's like a government mandated monopoly where they basically have a free reign to do whatever they want in this one little country. Like, I'd never heard of them until now, until I saw that video. Like, who are these people?
Well, Firestone Tires, you've never heard of them?
No, I don't know who makes tires. I only know like Michelin.
They're
and
really,
like that, so.
they're basically America's version of Michelin.
Oh
Like,
right.
they're actually a really good tire company.
That explains why I never heard of them, because we don't use. Maybe we do use Firestone here, but I've never seen their tires. I've seen Michelin. And
So Firestone has a monopoly over the whole country.
they practically run it. If you think about it, they own it.
They run the private sector of the
They
country,
do, yeah.
But that's also because the Americo-Liberians just have never even bothered to make their own private sector.
Yeah.
That's just mad. How do you not make your own private sector? Even the other bloody countries in Africa have, like, even Zimbabwe probably has one. Hello, is everyone still there?
Hello.
Hello.
You all just disappear. Oh wait, there's a little bit.
Yeah, sorry about that. My mom was texting me something.
It's fine. I thought we had a little connection problem then. So
Oh, no.
Bill
We're good.
Whitaker is explaining the thing. R0 is infectivity. 4, which is like 4 equals each infected
Just
person.
the coronavirus is globalist
I
propaganda.
bet that's what the Chinese are saying. That's what they're going to be saying.
They say it's American.
What, it's an American plant designed to
Yeah.
destroy the Chinese population so that they win the trade
Believe
war.
me, if it was a U.S.-built disease, it wouldn't be this inefficient.
No, we wouldn't.
We know how to make diseases.
Yeah.
So what diseases
Like,
have America
how
made?
inept do... I know that the CIA has developed its own strains of the Black Plague.
Maybe that's what's in California right now in LA.
Oh yeah. 'Cause
Nah, they stopped testing it in the 1960s.
I see.
And yes, they did test it on people.
Of course they did.
We
Can
just
you-
don't know what happened to them. Because it is the CIA.
They went to LA. That's what happened.
No, I think they were just like shot in the back somewhere.
Oof. Like, can you believe that LA is so dirty and disgusting that the Black Plague is back in that town?
I can believe it.
And then they've got
Because
like
it's
people.
disgusting and
They've actually got people shitting in the streets and just leaving garbage everywhere. And
Yeah,
apparently nobody's
that's why
collecting it.
I've literally made it clear for the Model United Nations team of my college, which they wanted to go to California this year, and I basically said, yeah, no. That's too much of a health concern.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go catch bubonic plague.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna see what fucking Baldric of Ulm caught in the 1300s. Thanks.
Yeah. I'll
I've got the Black
people
Death.
say my city shit. Yeah.
Oh, I've got the Black Death.
Well,
me
that's
lord.
because it is Altazai.
It is a beautiful, cosmopolitan, and modern city. I'll fucking tell you.
It's beautiful, man. Everybody's equal. Everybody loves each other. They're totally
And everybody
Yeah.
shanks each other.
and everybody shits on
We
each other.
only had
literally.
riots 5 years ago. That's only because a cop killed somebody who was.
Wasn't even a cop, and the kill was self-defense. It was
By the way, did you know
completely...
there's a film that's come out? It's meant to be kind of like a African American Thelma, not Thelma and Louise, more Bonnie and Clyde, but it's literally just a 650 film. So basically, it's like this guy and his girlfriend are driving, and a cop pulls them over.
It's
for
basically Bonnie and Clyde, but black.
it's called I need to remember what the British actor's called. Let me look this up for you guys. He was the guy in that horror film, where they have like he has this white girlfriend and like her family
Oh,
like dead,
Get Out.
plantation like. Daniel Kaluuya's in it. Let's have a look. What's it called? Queen and Slim. That's what it's called. And he's Slim. Basically, the gist is this cop pulls them over, and he This is the pitch of the film, guys. This isn't spoilers. And apparently, one thing leads to another. This is how it's described. So it was meant to be just a routine traffic thing, and then he pulls out the cop's gun, and then shoots him in apparent self-defense. And then they go on the run. And it's meant to be a really sexy film, but none of the actors are actually sexy. Like, if you've seen him, he's...
Diane Abbott plays the woman.
No, it's some other woman called...
Dude.
Well, David Kaluuya's not a bloody sex symbol, I can tell you that.
Something really fucking funny happened the other day.
He's
so I was playing Akinator, and I tried to get Akinator to guess Diane Abbott, and it didn't know who Diane Abbott was. Fucking.
Oh, I would have laughed so much if it guessed Harambe instead.
Well, it's funny, both of them are British. Jodie Turner
Harambe
Smith.
is not British.
No, I'm talking about the actors.
Oh,
Harambe
I was about
from
to
the
say.
working class from the Nigerian areas of London.
But
He was a constituent for Diane Abbott.
well, anyway, the film looks terrible. Even though it's been getting
Yeah.
rave reviews, that probably means it's not very good.
Yeah.
Like, at the very least, let them commit a natural... If they're going to be on the run, at least make them cool and commit an actual crime as opposed to shooting the cop that seems to be rather unprovoked. I mean, did you watch Louis Levi's stream where he watches a load of, like, cop interactions with, like, criminals and stuff? So many times they just escalate it. The people who they're pulling over just unnecessarily. Like, have you never actually interacted with a cop or even a person before? Like, why would you do that? Just take the ticket. Take the ticket and leave. Pay it. Pay your fine. Hell, even just take the L and go to jail for a night. There's no reason to get yourself killed. I don't understand that. Like, is this just a Darwin award in effect? Like, is this just like natural selection? Do these people have to do this in order for the human race as a whole to move on? I don't understand why these people do that. Who's raising them to attack cops like that? Like, seriously, you've not got a gun, he's got a gun, then you start flipping out trying to take his gun. Are you mad? You are asking to get shot if you do that. Or if you try to run them over, like, a lot of them try to run them over, and it's like, what are you doing? You're gonna get shot.
Yeah.
A car is a deadly weapon when used in that way. And then there was like but his last video was interesting because that's where the chat got divided because it was in New Jersey and this female cop, she pulled over two black guys and everything seemed alright. She was just chatting. She wasn't a very good cop though, to be fair. And then apparently they were all on edge, the cops, because apparently there were gang members going around. I don't know what kind of gang, doesn't matter, they're just gangs. And they were looking for cops to, pull over and shoot. And so they were all on edge, and one of them, I think he's a bit edgy, but I think he was aiming for his clutch, his gearbox or whatever, to do a runner. Yeah. And so we did a runner, and she thought she saw a gun. There was a gun, but they weren't going to use it, I think. It was in the skirting board or something. It was like on the floor. Not a very good place to get it, if you want to quickly shoot somebody. But that was only afterwards. We only found that out afterwards. And then there's this other guy called like Giovanni who starts shooting at them, and then they chase them, and he keeps getting out and shooting them, and then going back in again, and then eventually they managed to corner them, and he shot both of them, and one of them died. And I think that was it. A lot of people were divided. Is that excessive force? Is it not? Because he was clearly trying to be the hero, when immediately he tries to find his superior to go, I shot him. And when we looked at Louis looked at like the news report later, and they did find a gun, but it was never even fired, and it was on the floor. So whether or not they wanted to use it or not, you can't really say. And Giovanni's now, I think he's under investigation. I think that was probably excessive force. Like, I'm not against cops defending themselves, but it was him that initiated the violence, funnily enough. And interestingly, he said that he saw the gun after his first shot, so we didn't even know if there was a gun or not. That female officer said there was, but from her cam, you can't see it. But they only found it afterwards. And like he had to be calmed down by about 4 or 5 different cops because he looked like he was going full Rambo, going really weird and crazy. Like he was just out for blood. I mean, I know they were all on edge, but you got to be professionals and calm yourselves down. But I don't know. And then there was one in Seattle which was weird because he created a meme. There was this they pulled over this guy. Like there was actually all the different cops spotted them for different reasons. So one guy's talking to them. Something's come up. Everything seems in order. Now these guys need to talk to you. All right, cool, done. And then again, it gets escalated for no real reason, and there's a firefight. And then amazingly, the guys didn't get killed. They just got knocked the fuck out. Apparently, they shot the car up so badly that he must have been concussed.
Yeah.
And then the guy was like, "Chill, guys. Let's chill." The Seattle cop. It was well funny. So like Louis like, mods, if somebody's not chilled out, time them out because they're not chilled out. I didn't do it, but it was a funny meme. But anyway, we're now at the hour mark. Do you want to go on a little bit longer, or do you think this is a good time to leave?
I gotta go, so.
You gotta go. All right, I think we'll end it here, guys.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Alcazar,
Right.
why are you gay? Last words. Okay, Donald Duck. Chicago, any last words?
No.
And as for the rest of you, see you later.